What's going on, guys? Eric here and welcome to the channel. This is a follow-up video to one that I made about 6 months ago where I did a durability test of Vvivid's new Indestructible Vinyl Wrap. And the test was I wrapped some stairs that lead into my garage, and those stairs are ones that are used every day, and I did it in the fall, and so it's gone through the fall and into the winter, and now we're approaching summertime now. And so I want to take a look at how well those stairs have held up, or the vinyl wrap on the stairs has held up through at least a full season of winter, particularly here in Nebraska, where it was a particularly harsh winter this past year. So in the next part of the video, we'll go ahead and take a look at what the vinyl wrap looked like before I cleaned it up after the season was done. And then we'll take a look at what it looks like after I've cleaned it up, and that way we can see how well the vinyl has fared over the last 6 months of heavy use. All right, guys, so here you can see the stairs after about 6 months of use. I haven't cleaned them. I think I brushed them off maybe once over the winter to get rid of some of the sand and salt that had built up onto it. But other than that, I have not washed or wiped it down otherwise. And you can see that there's still plenty of dirt and actually some salt and sand from over the winter all over each of the 3 steps. You can see where most of the treading and stepping up and down occurred, primarily right down the center. You can also see in that spot there, a little while ago, actually was a very more defined blotch, some sort of probably oil or chemical that was on there. That's kind of just spread out as we've apparently stepped all over it and smushed it or spread it around. And here you can see some more salt and dirt all over it. But just looking at it, although it's still dirty, it does look like it's holding up pretty good so far as not ripping or tearing or anything the like. Just an initial blush, maybe underneath right here, it's at the bottom edge, it's a little bit loose, but that's actually an area that really is okay. It doesn't really matter because it's not an area that gets tread on or interferes with stepping up or down on the stairs. So I'll get this all cleaned up and we can take a look at it, what it looks like without all the dirt and other things covering it up, so we can see what it really looks like after 6 months of use, roughly, going through a pretty harsh and cold Nebraska winter. Alright, guys, so you can see I've got this all cleaned up here. All I did was spray it down with a little bit of all-purpose cleaner, wiped it down with a rag, and then took a wet rag and then wiped it down after that to kind of clean off the chemicals that might have been left on there a little bit. There's still a little bit of like dirt in there, as you can see here, maybe a little bit up there, but it does look way cleaner than it did in the previous video portion. But so let's take a closer look at how this is looking. The vinyl itself is still looking in really good shape. The areas that aren't trodden on the most, like the side areas here, they do look a little bit more newer and have more texture to it still, versus say the middle, which is where most of the footsteps happen, and you can see that some of the texture has been patted down or smushed down a little bit, but it's still there. Still feel the rough texture of it. Still looks like it's in good shape, no tears or rips or anything like that, no gashes. Not that there necessarily would be, since this was basically just coating some stairs. Anyway, so surviving a pretty harsh Nebraska winter so far, 6 months worth of application so far, just a little bit of cleaning up, and it looks almost brand new again. So this stuff is holding up pretty well. And is, at least for this application, showing itself to be pretty indestructible so far. So as you saw in the previous part of the video, the stairs held up very well through heavy use over the last 6 months, to include going through a harsh Nebraska winter where we not only walked up and down on it multiple times a day, there was salt and sand and dirt all over it, some chemical spills, things like that. But it cleaned up really nicely, and aside from the areas that are trodden on the most, where some of the texture is flattened out just a little bit, For the rest of the vinyl itself, looks to be in very, very good condition. No tears, rips, nothing coming up on the main surface area that is of any concern. Everything looks really good. Nothing seems to have affected it. So if you saw my previous videos where I had tested the vinyl in different ways, you see that the Vvivid's Indestructible Vinyl actually is a really tough vinyl. It could take some pretty serious abuse. It takes a lot to puncture it. It's really, really thick, has a very coarse texture to it. One benefit of putting the vinyl on the stairs is it kind of acted like a no-slip kind of a grip tape on the stairs, which is good for the purposes of those particular stairs. And so the vinyl itself definitely held up really well, and it kind of lives, at least with this test, the Vvivid's Indestructible Vinyl lives up to its name of Indestructible Vinyl. Alright guys, so I hope this video was helpful for you and kind of gives you an idea of some of the durability factors of Vvivid's Indestructible Vinyl. As you can see, it held up very well in use as a stair covering in a very high traffic area. If you've used Vvivid Vinyl, Indestructible Vinyl, for other purposes, drop a comment down below to let us know what you were using it for and how it's held up if you've done any kind of long-term durability test. Or if you have any other questions about Vvivid's Indestructible Vinyl, be sure to check out my other videos where I tested in different ways to see how durable and actually how resilient this vinyl actually is. If you like this video, guys, give it some love by hitting that thumbs up button. Also subscribe if you haven't already and hit that bell notification button so you get notices whenever I post new content to the channel. I've got more projects and videos on the way, and I'd love to share those with you. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.